Are you struggling to turn those DM conversations into actual sales? Well, you're not alone. And today we're going to be breaking down the essentials that make the difference. So in this next training, we're going to cover everything from responding to inbound leads, knowing when to dig deeper or move the conversation along, and adapting your style to match each prospect, right? It's about making every DM interaction more engaging, personal, and effective. Using real life examples, we're going to show you when to probe deeper, when to close, and how to even handle cold responses so you're never left guessing in the middle of a chat. Let's jump in and start transforming those conversations into conversions. Ready? Let's go. And by the way, for someone who's interested in automating your DMs to make money from them, that is what we do. I created a new book. It's brand new. There's a link below in the description, right? It's called DM Automation Secrets. It's everything we've ever learned about DM automation, all put together in a nice book where you can then learn exactly how we generate over $10 million online for our clients, right? So if that interests you, make sure you go down below, click that link, and I will see you in the training.
What you think, sir?
I was thinking like asking. I think I would type it out first, and then like maybe you can tweak it a little bit.
Go for it.
I think that the question might be a little bit like too direct. But I want to ask like what got him interested like to working with Brandon.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking of two different routes here we could go. I don't know if that question is going to get us the answer that we're looking for, because essentially this question is, what would it like to work with you? My question would be my question in my mind is like the first one that pops up is, how do you mean? Like how do you mean work with me? Because obviously I know you already know, work with you as in to get a policy set up, or work with you because you're an agent. So my two thoughts on the question, we could either go that route, like we can go exactly. Yeah, appreciate you reaching out. Appreciate you taking the time to connect with me. Like, how do you mean exactly when you say work with me? We can go that route, or you could even be to me, you could be super direct here and give them the options. Kind of a base sorting question. It's like, what would it look like to work with you? Uh, Good question, man. Do you mean in terms of getting a policy set up, or are you a licensed agent already? Something like that. But the first one that popped in my mind is like, how do you mean exactly in terms of working with me? Like, because that to me, that would answer the question. It's like, you could say, so how would it look like? Because we want to, like, we're playing chess here, so we want to like guess his response. So if we say, how uh how do you mean exactly in terms of working with me? Um, yeah, he could either say, "Oh, I want to get a policy set up," or "I've been interested in getting an IUL set up for a while now," or he could say, "Oh, I'm a licensed agent, and I see that you work with agents," or like who knows what he could answer. But I feel like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
question kind of like,
But yeah,
yeah, that makes
I,
sense.
I think the first route is perfect. Like we don't go too direct, and he will like eventually tell us like what he wants.
Yeah, and if you feel it's direct as well, we can also add a softener in there, a little bit of acknowledgement, like, hey man, like, so appreciate you taking the time to connect with me. Um, awesome.
Just curious.
Just curious. There we go. Yep. Just curious. How do you mean exactly in terms of working with me? There we go. Just curious.
I like, yeah, sometimes it's just two words. Or, yeah.
Super small grammar. You can add a comma after just curious as well.
Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, super small.
There.
Yeah. Yep, got the answer we're looking for.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, this is interesting. First, what do you before I say my thoughts? What are you thinking?
Um, I was thinking like to because he asking a question like what changed for you and like how you got everything dialed in. So I was thinking like say like I don't want to say something too specific like telling him like I got like I I got my social media going on and like all the process and message and all that stuff. I don't want to go like too what to say like too specific into that. Like I just want to put it vague like
Yeah, so I to
yeah.
help you out a little bit, I agree with you. We don't because I mean when he says like I'm struggling a bit right now, curious what changed for you. I mean to me the
Mhm.
first question is and we'll tell or okay, how do I let me keep my thoughts centered here. Yeah, I'd be curious to know what he's struggling with. Like even though it's early in the convo, like if someone told you, yeah man, I'm struggling right now, what changed for you? It's like, well, for me to answer that, like first man, like could you elaborate more on what you're struggling with? And then what's funny is I don't know if not I don't know if Wally like deleted the chat or this guy deleted his contact, but I remember this. I kind of remember this lead. I don't remember who it is exactly, but I know this. I know this lead. This lead asked the same thing. I'm struggling a bit right now. And then Ange asked like, oh, like when you say struggling, like what exactly are you struggling with, or could you elaborate more on like what you're struggling with? Because we don't know how to answer. Like I see what you're saying, and I agree. We don't want to like. It's hard to answer that because we don't know exactly what he's talking about. Like struggling, he could be struggling with a million different things. So yeah, I like asking him like, could you elaborate on what you're struggling with right now?
Got it, got it.
Yeah, how you got everything dialed in. It's like everything dialed in. Like there's a lot there. I dialed a lot in. I dialed in my content, my lead generation, my
Yeah,
back end systems. It's like we don't want to go into any type of detail. You hit it
yeah.
on the head. Maybe I can find it on Instagram. Maybe the chat's on Instagram. Maybe I can find it that way.
I would never delete a chat.
That makes me automatically suspicious. Like you would delete the chat.
I would never do that.
I don't believe you.
A buyer chat, I would never delete one of those.
While he wouldn't mess with the chat keeper,
But I do have to mess with him, yes, of course.
Hmm.
What you thinking?
Um, I was thinking go for the turn, but I was thinking the second thought like maybe it might be too soon for the turn. So I think I will like ask him something more before we go for the turn. And for the question that we need to ask right now, I was thinking like maybe ask him because we are talking about lead generation right now. So I think
Are
like should
are we talking about lead generation right now?
uh
Are you sure
Um,
about that?
this guy's trolling this morning. I got you, man. So, um, yeah. So Wally's used this, or he's used this line. We've used this line previously in a chat adjusting session. So I have it, I have it pulled up on Instagram. And a little bit different answer. But personally, I don't think it actually is too soon for the turn because it's like he's basically saying I want like I'm not saying I need help yet, but like he's essentially saying like I mean he's telling us what he wants. I need more volume. I'm getting a little traction, but it's just inconsistent. And it's like awesome, man. Well, I'm actually looking for a few more like motivated life insurance who want to hit this goal, like and like on how I did it. So like, would you want to get the details of it? Like basically opening it up. He's opening us up to ask him if he wants to get the details to learn more about how he can get help with this. So I actually think it's perfect time to go to turn.
oh okay got
Yeah,
it.
we don't want to go into talking about like like how we can get volume more traction, especially too when I know you already know this, but the training video will help him out on how he can get more traction, how he can create his own content. It's like it's not the thing that sells the thing, but it's something that can give him more information. So we definitely want to get into that as quick as possible.
Got it.
It's the thing that sells the thing that sells the thing. Yes, that's what I was looking for. You can go ahead and send. He's got my brain racking, but it's like before the training video, we might need to give him some more information, or know that we're gonna have to give him more information eventually. But yeah, the survey and the training video is exactly what we want to do here.
Got it. Got it.
And then just a little copy switch. You can switch those first two words. It's like I'm actually oh got it. Like I'm actually looking.
Oh,
Yeah, probably not a killer, but just super super small.
got it.
I like the oh got it though. I liked the oh got it. It's like oh got it.
So this one we just like being straightforward, right?
Oh yeah, and then I said I liked your initial acknowledgement though. Like I liked the oh got it. Like a little just a
Oh, still.
tiny acknowledgement. Like
Oh,
oh got it. Like I totally get it. Like yeah, you had it on the nail there.
got
Yeah, nothing crazy. Just oh got it. Like totally get it, man. Like that's perfect.
We'll see if the chat keeper can remember this one.
it. Wait, this one might be quite a long time ago, like a few months ago. I think so. price. Just wondering, like he mentioned that he made 8K this month, but not inconsistent. So should I say that in here? Like I see that you are making 8K this month, but not consistent right now. Or should I just skip it like simple, like making 8,000 per month right
So we put making 8,000 this month, inconsistent right now. So I mean, we can actually cater the answer specifically to that. We can say, I see that you're making 8K this
now?
month.
This month.
We can say this
Yeah.
month, and then yeah, eliminate right now.
Yep.
And then maybe tailor we can, this might be overthinking it, but we can maybe tailor the next question. How much would you like to be consistently making in the next 6 to 12 months? So should just one little word there, tailor it to his yeah, what he said. How much would you like to be consistently making?
Consistently. All right. Oh shit. The question mark. Oh wait. Sorry, I didn't meant to. I forgot the question mark.
I'm playing I'm playing an interesting lead today.
Yeah, I know. A lot of curveball already. Right. For this one, I think I would just say like great question and go straight for the pre-building. Right.
So we can actually go. We don't want to go full pre-VLD here. We can go with the shortened version we always do. So go back to the chat for me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can basically say, so cool, and yes, I would like some help. What would that look like? Great question. I actually made a short video that explains just that. Or a great question. I made a video that explains what exactly that would look like. Like basically answering the question, but not answering the question. It's like I have a video that will tell you exactly that.
Got it. Got it.
We burned how to handle this one into our memory from the flip chats from before. But you haven't seen that scenario that as many times yet.
Yeah, one feedback in the chat feedback channel was enough. It was like the VSL is the thing that sells the thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
because we'd be trying to explain everything. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, dude, you're never gonna beat this video.
Whatever you could come up with, nothing beats the video. Even having Brandon a personalized voice note. Yeah, man. So what that would look like? Nah, just he already has a whole video of him talking about it. Nothing can beat the VSL, man.
I'm waiting for the curveball right now. Right.
Wait,
Do you
what'd
think
you say?
I'm waiting for the curveball right now. I think he's typing like a lot of stuff like right now.
Nah, man. I would, before you can type something, I'll go for it, man. I'm in. I've been wanting to learn from you. Like, right on, man. Yeah, right on, man. Do you have 3 minutes to complete the sign up right now, or are there any more questions? Are there any questions I can answer for you?
Wait, Wally, like for real, like are you done typing? Or like is it not a couple this time? Like, oh, he didn't say anything. I think
He
he's
said,
typing
who's,
for
nah,
I
man,
think he's
he said
typing
in the,
for
no, he said in the chat, who's to say? Nah,
oh
see,
he just
this is
said
yeah, this is the perfect, this is the perfect
okay.
example. It's like if you're online by yourself, if I see that, if I see an I'm in, I'm waiting 5 minutes tops. So just to make sure they don't think it's a bot, it's like I'm in, been wanting and not seem over eager, but it's like, yeah, right on, man. Do you have 3 minutes to complete the enrollment? Yeah, the right on, man, or it's only a trick if it looks like one. Yeah, and then the just the right on, man, or perfect. Like that's just a style. It's just a style thing. So yeah, you can say perfect, right on, man, either whatever you want to do.
So I'm like post complete.
Ooh, actually, I feel like I might know. I mean, I feel like this whole chat he's been using a variation of answers, but for this one, let's see if my memory is right on this one. I want to say this is the very first buyer we ever had. Let's see if I'm right.
Oh dang.
Chris Chris Mantis. Let's see. He said, "Yep, it is. I got it right." Because he said,
Oh
"Yep, yeah." He said, "I'm in. Been wanting to
dang.
learn from you." We asked double confirmation, and then he said, "Sounds like weekly calls, templates, and coursework. Anything else?" Uh, yeah, and then we said, hold up, I just lost it here. Said, yeah, so we can keep this. The response here is perfect. We just keep it. We keep it simple, and I'll copy and paste the chat into the Zoom.
Thank you, sir. Oh,
Yeah, I guess this is interesting because we want to work on our like this is a live chat, and so I took a either he was either quick on responding here, or I took a little. That's not a risk or a gamble, but it's a this is kind of the thing we talk about with I talked about and before, where it's like if they're responding, we don't need to necessarily do a leading question, and so here we didn't ask a leading question, and he just responded with perfect, but for the sake of it being a chat adjusting session, so it's like. You got it, and once you complete the enrollment, you'll also have a
A chat
one-on-one.
jousting session sits in a live chat scenario like that. Yes.
Oh, then let's just
okay.
send it, Leo.
Yeah, because we're assuming in this whole conversation that it's just start to finish, that we just chatted with them from the whole way down, right? So obviously there's pauses in a normal one because people leave or whatever. But yeah, in this scenario, we're assuming that they're right here chatting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the principle Wally said before is like an 80-20 rule, Leo. But if you're ever online and this is happening and someone's chatting with you live, you give them that response, and you're like, like he's responding like live right now, and he's responding quick. 80-20 is as in 80% of the time we do want to ask a leading question. This is the 20% of the time where we don't have to ask a leading question because he's responding live and right away, and he's interested. So yeah, here we go. What do you what do you think here, Leo?
Uh, I was thinking for the ask him about is does everything about the process make sense, or like do you have any more questions like the double confirmation? I was thinking like that. Not going that around.
Yeah, so here, obviously I'm cheating because I have the chat in front of me, but because there's no objection, because he
Mhm.
just said perfect, and we already asked double confirmation. It's like he didn't even really have a question. He just said sounds like when he says sounds like, he's just basically confirming. It's like sounds like he just wants to like confirm. Sounds like weekly calls, templates, and courses. Anything else? If he says anything else, he's almost saying like am I missing anything? We basically told him no, you're not missing anything. He's like perfect, I got it. I mean, we can again cheating here because I have the chat, but like we can just go PLD here.
Oh, got it, got it.
Ideally, too. I mean, you can go with the PLD here, and I'll keep talking. But ideally, we want to treat these like live conversations, and it's like if someone says perfect after you said, yeah, man, you got it. Like that's what it comes with. And once you like, if this is live, it'd be like once you type in your credit card information or once you complete the payment, like you'll be started. And it's like perfect. Then that would be the time where it's like awesome, man. So yeah, put in your credit card information here or hand over your card. I don't know the exact line, but that's in person
Sign
sales. But
here. Sign here. It's basically the next step. Sign here,
yeah,
please.
yeah.
Thank you.
I was thinking like gym membership. It's like, yeah, man, everything about the gym sounds perfect. Awesome, man. Well, yeah, putting your credit card into the thing. Yeah,
So
sign
yeah,
here.
here's sign here exactly. Here's my clipboard. It's like enter your information right there. Since it sounds like you're gonna have a great time.
I'm sure there's more elegant ways to say like credit you have your credit card. I'm thinking Hormozy right now, but yeah, yeah. Sign here.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's like sign here. So I have no reasons not to believe. I have no reason at this point not to believe that you wouldn't register and sign up if I gave you the link.
100%.
Oh, the new one. We have the new gift
It's
today.
it says ads. It says ads for sale. All right, sweet. You can stop sharing your screen.
Yes, sir. Oh, wait, how
I
to
can help
wait.
you. I can help you.
Oh yeah, yeah, fine.
There you go. Awesome. So biggest takeaways in the driver's seat, sir, Mr. Leo.
I got two today. The first one is like well, when we drop the turn, like when they say like they need help something like with what going on with their business, that's the perfect time for us to go for the turn. And and the second one is if they have like no objection like after we did the double confirmation, uh, just go straight for the PLD. Like
Hmm.
don't go for the double confirmation again.
Yeah, we already double confirmed one time, and it's like I don't know, it's like the natural progression of a conversation, right? And so like we should so the way I explained it to the team before is like Leo, it's kind of like our foot if this was like a car, right? And let's say that we're going to a destination, right? Our foot is kind of always on the gas,
Mhm.
right? So it's like at all times, if there's no reason why we can't move forward, then we're moving forward, right?
Yes,
And so
yes,
your
sir.
foot's kind of always on the pedal, and it's weird because it's kind of the same. It can relate to a lot of other scenarios as well with this example I'm giving right here. But it's like the whole time I'm the whole objective here is that I want to move one step closer to the sale, right?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
so if you don't give me an explicit reason why I can't move forward, then we're moving forward, right? We should move forward every single time. Because there's not any reason why. There's not any reason why that we shouldn't.
Yes, sir.
I guess if this lead was being more vague, or if we had to ask him like more questions, or if he seemed like unsure, I guess we could have not here in this chat, but you can ask like, awesome man. So like, is there anything else stopping you from moving forward? Like that's a possible question. Someone's being like vague, but yeah, here there was nothing. So it's like, yeah, man, there already is. He's implying there's nothing stopping him, so we just onward.
And but you'll notice that like our natural tendency is to like assume that there might be something that we have to overcome, right?
Yeah.
And so like so we're like, this smells funny or whatever whenever it's going and it's in a way that we want to, right? Which is no, and so no, I realistically that is a good that's a good mental practice, right? Because we should be thinking, okay, like where could this go wrong? But we should also, our default should be set to say we're always going to move it. We're always going to move it forward. You know what I mean? And so like
Yes,
it's kind
sir.
of like in chess where it's like, it's like sometimes when people are playing chess. I don't know if you ever played chess before, Leo?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, sometimes whenever you're playing chess, you'll see an open move, and you'll be like, "Did this guy really just leave that here like that?" And then you
Yeah.
do it, and they're like, "Shit," you mess
It's
them up. You're
crap.
like, they're like, "Yeah," and then you kind of stump them. You know what I mean? So the same
Yes,
thing with
sir.
us. It's like in the chats, right? Like as we get progressively closer to the sale or like down further down the conversation, right? We're kind of like slowly pinching them towards the direction we want them to take, right?
Yep.
And that's what I mean by like if I get 3 yeses, that means I could probably move them forward, right? Like you see, so like it's like we're always trying to move the conversation towards that direction. And the only reason I'm not going to do it is if they give me an explicit reason not to. In this case, we had none, right? There was no objections, right? He didn't say he had any questions at all, right? If you go
Mhm.
into that, right here, right? There is no questions. He's like, dude, and this is the original chat, right? Um,
Yep.
he's like, sounds good, weekly calls, da da da. I'm good. So it's like when there's no objections, yeah, just moving forward. Cool. What about you, Bryce, in driver's seat? If I didn't
Yeah,
just
I'd
take
say
away some of your takeaways right there.
no, I would say I would say biggest takeaway is just treat it as much as possible like a live convo. So like in the very beginning there, it was like he said he's struggling. It's like if we treat that as a normal convo, it's like if someone's talking to you and they just started talking to you, but you have something to offer them and they're like, yeah, I'm struggling right now, but they don't elaborate. Like even though it's early in the chat, we can go, awesome man, like what like and he asked us to open up instead of us opening up. We can just ask another question. It's like awesome man, like what are you struggling with exactly? Then he tells us, and instead of like telling him how we fix this problem, we just give him the details. Yeah, so basically it's okay to ask a clarifying like probing question early if they're talking to us early like that. Yeah, that's probably the biggest takeaway.
Yeah, for sure, right? And it's like I let people bring it up on their own, right? Like that's the easiest way to think about it, right? Because like, do I dig or do I not dig? That's the question. And the question is, if they bring it up, dig. If they don't dig. A good scenario of that, it's like you're at the bar, right? It was a couple days ago, I, maybe like a week ago now actually. But anyway, there's a 19-year-old guy that comes in here, and he's one of our regulars, so he comes and frequents and chats with us or whatever, right? Um, he comes in, sits at the bar, right, and immediately just starts talking about this program that he started, and he's super excited about, and he's like, there's a new book he's reading and stuff like that, right? So like I didn't have to I didn't have to guide that conversation at all. Like he's like, "Oh man, I just started this new program," and then just stop talking. And then when people say that out loud, right, the next logical question is for us to say, "Okay, what program did you start?" And he's like, "Oh," and starts, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like so it's the same thing whenever we're in the chats. It's like people naturally whenever they're in the conversation kind of bring up the stuff they want to talk about. It's just about us to notice what they said and then be like, "Oh, you want me to ask about that?" So I'll ask about it. Um, and it's so funny, like I'm like very hyper aware of this now. So like I will like purposely be sitting down and just like working and doing stuff, and like the person next to me is like talking to me, or I'm like talking to them a little bit, and I can tell that they want me to like ask, like you know. And
yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
so sometimes I'll be like, and I'll just like put down my computer screen. And I'll look at them and be like, okay, tell me about this. And then they'll just start talking. But so you'll be like, and that's kind of how I want you guys to be too. It's like you should be hyper aware of that people that want to talk tend to communicate it very well, you know?
Yep.
So in the chat, they come in, they're like, yeah, I'm tired of buying leads, LOL, you know? Or yeah, it's like, okay, we should ask about it, you know? It's like, oh,
Like, why are you tired of buying
yeah,
leads?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was like, oh, you know how it goes, Brandon. You know, you buy them, and oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, I know exactly how it goes. But you see, so it's yeah. So I think it's funny that we're having this conversation now because this is the same thing I would tell Ange too, because Ange always has this particular problem, which is should I dig on that or should I not, right? And so just remember, if they say dig, then you dig. If they don't say, then don't worry about it, and it might
Especially
come
because I
up
mean, I don't know.
later.
Yeah, I was just
That's
gonna
the
say that if you I don't know if you would have ghosted there if we just would have got details, but maybe you wouldn't have ghosted, but then we would have found it out later. But I mean, it's conversational flow, so yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I like to let it naturally play. You know, like sometimes there's a lot of people in this that teach chat, or at least that I'm seeing now, that try to they try to force the play, if that makes sense. Right? It's like in football or basketball, whenever it's like, hey man, like the run isn't working. Okay, we need to stop running the run. Let's do some passes. Let's get through the defense here.
Yeah, you just made me think of my me first getting started. That's exactly what I would do with the set. I was like, I'm forcing this next question. I'm gonna try to make it conceptually flow, but I'm always gonna try and force the next question. But yeah.
Yeah, so you can't force it, right? It's all gonna come out naturally. You just gotta follow a structure, right?